Hey, all right, so just a follow up from the last video on the mid-year performance review evaluation of our employee Amanda. Last night on the Friday Night live stream, we did take all the super chats, all the donations, and I gave that to her as a bonus. So this morning she took the money and ran and went to the farmer's market. And then as another bonus, I cleaned up the kitchen for her. So when she got back, it was all done and she could just sit down and relax the rest of the day. We did have a bit of a big rainstorm come through this morning, and I got just a little window of time here before the next rainstorm moves in, and I got to go do some other stuff today. So I'm going to try to get some of this stuff resplit and busted down. But first, let me show you what's going on. Something kind of strange with this tree here that I think is going to have to come down. So after the rainstorm this morning, I came back and I noticed that there was all these kind of like dried up leaves on the ground all over the place, all from this tree right here. And I think what's happening is, I think that this thing has died and its leaves now are drying up and getting knocked off with the wind and the rain. So I'm pretty much 100% certain this tree is a goner from the oak wilt. And I mean, it's probably not showing up on camera, but if I look up here, like this whole half, all those leaves are dried up and now falling off. So that is gonna make, we've got that tree, and now this tree, that all will probably need to come down later this fall. And that is really gonna open things up back here. So unfortunately, it's too bad, but I think this tree as well is a goner, and I'm afraid this one next to him is going to be next. So like I mentioned, this is the little pile right here of some of the bigger splits that came off the Yappa when we ran all the logs through it for the Woodhound Jamboree before the Frenzy. So now I know what some of you are thinking, that picking all this wood up, resplitting it, picking it up, stacking it, moving it over there, stacking it, all that is adding up to touching this wood way too much. But actually it's not, and I will tell you why in a little bit. when it comes to the number of times you touch the wood or you handle the wood, to me, the take on it is you touch it, you handle it as much as you need to. I know that's not going to be for everyone, but I think the number of times that you handle the wood is one of those topics that a lot of people just like to analyze and critique and give their opinions to others on. And it's just one of those things that, you know, everyone can always say, oh, you're handling the wood too much, or oh, you're picking those pieces up too many times. And for me, in this situation, every situation is different. If I had a workflow set up to where every time I processed firewood, it was the exact same way, then I would probably look for ways to limit the number of times you handle the wood. But in this case, so the logs that we ran through the yappa, the logs were dropped off for me. The first time I touched them was to bring them back here and set them on the ground. I myself didn't touch them again because other people were here for the Woodhound Jamboree, running them through the yappa onto the ground here. So the actual first time I picked up a piece of wood from these logs was when I picked it up and put it on the splitter here. And then again to run it through, and now to pick it up and stack it. So, you know, in this situation, it may appear that I touched this wood far too many times, but really I didn't. I moved it with the tractor, I picked up the pieces, I split them, and I stacked them. So, but again, that's just my take on it, and every situation is different, and I think every situation allows for opportunities to improve upon the amount of handling or the number of times you touch the wood. But for me, it just comes down to each situation that's different. I just handle the wood as much as I need to. All right, so since we gave Amanda the day off today, I went ahead and I separated out the recreational wood here. It didn't work quite as I had planned. I was going to kind of separate it more as I split it, but it was just easier to quick run it through into a pile. And then I took all the oak, I stacked that up there, got the recreational wood there, and everything else, this big mess over here, this is all just going to go for my personal use in the boiler. So that'll get picked up and hauled way over there to that stack. And then the scraps and things I might sort through and pick out some of the good pieces for kindling. And the rest of this bark, probably just, I don't know yet if I'm going to clean it up or just leave it here and stack right on top of it. So the rain is about to move back in. I'm going to get the tractor put away, get the splitter put away, and then I'm going to head in. Got some other things to do. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.